Yo, what's going on, everybody? Creepers, and welcome back to another video. And if some of you guys are coming from Salvation's video, I know he did a Monarch showcase on Gogeta. I'll do my Deadeye here in a little bit, but when I was doing my testing, I've noticed that Gogeta isn't actually working properly, and from my understanding, it's just because of the devs being incompetent more than him actually having a limit. So, for those of you who don't know how he works already, right here, he buffs fuse units and gains half of their crit damage, right? So with a Hercule down in Deadeye, you can see like Ichigo and Goku here, they essentially have 105% crit damage bonus, right? And you can see this with Gogeta here too. So if we put this into a calculator, since I have 5 of these or 7 of these units down, this is, and then we divide by this by 2. This is how much crit damage you would move the dot, obviously, over twice. But this is how much crit damage they would be getting each Gogeta. And the thing with Gogeta is, I have Deadeye, and if you were to, or real quickly, I'll show you. If we were to get rid of all of these guys, including you, we will see here in a second now, once this buff runs out. Yeah, you can see he has a base of 3.25 times. So if we decide to add 325 to this, and then we also have to add in the crit damage buff that they would get from Hercule, which would be 30%. But the thing with Hercule is that it should also be giving an extra 15% to the other 2 Gogetas as well. So Hercule will give one Gogeta a 30% damage buff, and then that 30% damage buff will split into 15% for the other 2 Gogetas, and likewise around. So in total, you would be getting an extra 60% damage from Hercule alone. So you would have a 750, well, not 700, but it would be a 7.52 times buff. But if you remember at the start of the video, I showed you it was not that high. It was in reality a lot lower than that. It was only at 700%. And initially you might not think of anything, like you might like hear that like 50% damage difference. That might not seem super big until you realize the fact that this isn't like a min-max like setup whatsoever. Like this isn't super ideal, and the reason why I say that is because I don't have any familiars on this Goku. And in case you just kind of sum it up, what this means is that there is a hidden cap. Gogeta can only steal 50%, a max of 50% crit damage from other units, meaning that the most amount of crit damage you need is only 2 times. But nowhere in here does it say there is a hidden cap. Because you can see here, once I get my other Gogeta, or get Gogeta down here. So yeah, keep in mind, this is what it should be. But with how it works right now, it's only there. So like I said, you're only missing out on 50% damage pretty much right now. But the problem is, if I were to throw a Chile on these Ichigos or Gogeta, not Gogeta, Goku, let's say I were to throw a 40% Chile on here, essentially what that would mean is that this would go to 2.4. All these would go to 2.4, right? And if we were to just look at that, so 40% times 3, and then if you were to divide that in half, that's essentially an extra 60% damage. So now you're missing out on 100% damage, extra crit damage, which is not nothing. As we know, like, especially with Broly, that 100% damage is not like nothing to, like, you can't scoff at that. Like, that will add up over time. So the fact that there's like a hidden cap, like completely, like if you wanted to min-max him, like it kind of just nerfs him like completely. Because like I said, that was a 40% Chile I did example of, but if you did like a 50%, so if you had a 50% Chile and then divide by 2, that's another 75% damage you would be missing out on. I know for Salvation's video, he used both Deadeye, Ichigo, and Goku. But if I decided to run like a decent Chile on both of them, I would be losing out on all that damage. This is the max damage I can have with this setup. Obviously Gogeta wouldn't be here, but like you can see, I'm missing out on 170% crit damage because it's hidden cap. This is also to mention I don't even have a familiar on my Gogeta, but like you can see, it's like that hidden cap really hinders Gogeta a lot. And I'm currently asking, but if it's intended and it's not mentioned anywhere in here, to me that's, if it's intended, it needs to be somewhere in the kit. It doesn't say anywhere in the passive that is limited to 50%. Nowhere does it say that. So either A, change the wording, or get rid of the cap. That's how I look at it. I think you just get rid of the cap. Like, it doesn't make sense from a logical standpoint, because this is you literally don't even need to run a familiar on these guys then to get the max buff if you just have a Chile. Which, like, is cool and all, but like, for people who like min-maxing like myself, it's just very restricting. So I'm not gonna say, well, no, I am gonna say is I want to start the like, this is something that I want to get around the community, because it's a big issue that I have. Like, this is something that if it's intended to be this way, it should be set into the passive. But yeah, so spread the word, complain, do your bitching. This is a one-time help. I'll say bitching's okay, but this video is going on long. I don't want it to get to 8 minutes, but thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.